Hey there, good Thursday morning to you. I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz on this first alert weather morning. We have thunderstorms out there, fire danger in the mountains today. We have a red flag warning in place for the Cascades. I'll break it all down for you and talk about the potential for these wildfires and then thunderstorms in the lowlands. The bulk of the rain and the thunderstorm risk will be mainly west of I-5 by the afternoon, more so focused over the Olympic Peninsula. And again, I'll show you on the Futurecast, but we dry out and we're going to heat up as we head into the weekend. The big picture right now, you see this spin over the Pacific. This is a low, that counterclockwise spin there. And we have all of this moisture in place. So that low is tapping into some of this moisture, providing lift for thunderstorms to develop. And most of them have been along the I-5 corridor or just to the east from the Oregon and Washington state line and up through the Cascade foothills, the western slopes, as well as offshore. We want them offshore because we have that enhanced risk for fires to start, all because of the threat for some lightning, also some gusty winds as well. So the red flag warnings in place for the Olympics and the Cascades through this evening. This red flag warning is actually in place east of the Cascades and over much of central and eastern Washington as well. There's also that threat for some thunderstorms in the lowlands, but the risk is lower. We already have that ongoing, but we'll start to lose some of that instability as the day goes on. So this light green that you see, this is where we could have the chance for a non-severe thunderstorm that could produce lightning, brief downpours, gusty winds, maybe some small hail. It's not going to be a widespread risk, however. So once again, first alert weather day today for that increased fire danger, a few thunderstorms, spotty showers in the lowlands as well. Tomorrow morning, we're waking up to clouds, afternoon sun. That could be the case on Saturday, but you see each and every day we're going to heat things up as yet another ridge builds. And once again, it was an active night, an active morning. It's still ongoing. We had a few thunderstorms move into King County over the Kitsap Peninsula and even over the lowlands and near I-5 in Pierce County. But the bulk of the thunderstorm activity has really been confined to, again, the western slopes of the Cascades, so the foothills as well. And so some of these storms pulsed back up and then producing some strikes of lightning. At least it's being detected on radar. You may be hearing some loud claps of thunder or rumble of thunder or two. But again, a lot of this activity is going to weaken as it moves to the north-northwest over the next couple of hours. And the really hot spot that we had all morning long was really west of Mount Rainier, so the western slopes of Mount Rainier in the foothills, all the way from the state line all the way up into Pierce County, especially the foothills of Pierce and Thurston County, as well as Lewis County. So it's really been here. Thrift, Eatonville, you see as they continue to lift to the north-northwest. And then you see this very distinct line of, it's essentially just a little band of moisture, some embedded thunderstorms just riding parallel of east of the I-5 corridor and once again over the Cascade foothills and then the western slopes of the Cascades. And the bulk of it, the thunderstorm activity has really been more offshore, closer to that low. Here's a look at the Futurecast. I slowed it down just so you can get an idea of how the rain coverage will be, as well as the timing. So this is, we'll fast forward to about 10, 11 o'clock or so. You see most of the rain now moving over the Olympic Peninsula as that low continues to spin offshore. And by the afternoon, we could have sun breaks. Most of the rain will be more so west of Puget Sound into the afternoon, maybe closer to the Strait, maybe up toward the islands, but there's still that potential, especially if we get sun breaks, that we could get another maybe isolated thunderstorm even here in the lowlands and up into the Cascades later in the day. Again, it's all dependent on maybe how many sun breaks we get. The thing is, with any thunderstorms that develop over the Cascades, not going to have a lot of moisture with it, so that's why we're concerned about some dry thunderstorms, so not a lot of rain with it. typically you want wet thunderstorms instead of dry because of that risk for fire starts. This is one model showing that lightning risk into the afternoon. You see more so over the Cascades, maybe some of the foothill communities as well, but it's very isolated. So we're not going to have a really high risk for thunderstorms into the afternoon as well. Rain totals, this is going forward basically from what we've had already to late tonight. You see little to no accumulating rain. Of course, some spots could definitely get more than this, but the highest totals, as expected, will be closer to the coast where we will have more rain coverage, as well as the northwestern slopes of the Olympics, where there is now officially a moderate drought there for much of the Olympic Peninsula, all the way from about Hood Canal and covering the Kitsap Peninsula. And then east of the Cascades, we have moderate drought as well as severe drought, and then extreme drought. Yeah, a little bit of that closer to the northern portion of the state. Let's take you outside where we've had variable conditions. We had showers, gusty winds moving in, and some of those thunderstorms over the South Sound. You see atop Hurricane Ridge, we have dark skies, and then at Paradise, we have lots of people out and about. But again, with that threat for a couple of thunderstorms, if you hear thunder, you want to make sure you get indoors. Now, if you're hiking today, you may want to hold off until maybe tomorrow, and all weekend long, you'll have better weather then. As for highs today, again, depending on how many sun breaks we get, that's going to determine just how warm we get as well. The coast will be cooler, 50s and 60s, and then interior areas, models are all over the place, showing 60s versus 70s. So for now, we'll go with 60s and 70s. Some models are showing mid and upper 70s. I don't think we get that warm, but still maybe a few 70s out there. If you're headed to Lumen Field, the Sounders versus the Portland Timbers, big rivalry match at 7:30 is kickoff, and temperatures will be on the comfortable side, a little on the breezy side as well, and we could have a stray shower. But again, most of the rain will come to an end by then. And tomorrow, we're starting to warm things up. The coast 60s, interior areas mid and upper 70s. And then over the weekend, that's when we're going to have that noticeable warm up. Interior areas 70 to about 80, maybe some lower 80s out there, but Sunday, the 2 days out of the weekend, Sunday will be the hottest day where we'll reintroduce low and mid 80s. But we're even hotter Monday and Tuesday. Those are going to be the days where we have the greatest chance for some spots, our hottest spots, to reach about 90 degrees. Wednesday, we could have the return of onshore winds, so that may drop our temperatures a couple of degrees, but it's still going to be very warm. Remember, you can always find the latest forecast and a very deep dive into the forecast like this one on King 5 Plus, king5.com, and our free King 5 app.